Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of The Take. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson, of course, and in today's episode, we have a lot to unpack right now. So before we get into this podcast, hit the subscribe button, like the video, also hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any more episodes relating to The Take. Hit the share button, get this thing up. We want this thing out. We need people watching it. And also, make sure to follow the social medias on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever they call it these days, Facebook. So make sure to give me a follow on those platforms. Make sure to give me some feedback on what you guys think about the Super Bowl. We're about to preview a bunch of different things when it comes to that. We got some NBA trade talks coming up. So make sure to stay around for this episode. Enjoy a coffee, enjoy your workout, enjoy going outside, taking a run, whatever you're doing, enjoy my takes and let me know what you think. You're probably going to disagree with them, which is okay, but it's all right. So we're going to start out with some breaking news, okay? Breaking news. Josh Allen is named AP NFL MVP for the first time in his career, and he's also the third Buffalo Bill, including O.J. Simpson and Thurman Thomas, to win the award. So Josh Allen, he's a very deserving candidate. Now, I would have picked Lamar Jackson, in my personal opinion. I mean, he had a better season statistically in my eyes, but I see why the NFL is giving it to Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen, he led the NFL in QBR at 77.3. He also had 28 touchdowns, 37 yards passing, and he also threw a career low 6 interceptions this year. So that's what people have been knocking him on, including me. Hey, Josh Allen throws too many interceptions. He turns it over too much. I mean, if you look at his numbers in the past, in 2023, he threw 18 interceptions last year. That's a lot. And the year before that, he threw 14. So, like, this is the right direction for Bills fans. This is where, now, obviously, they didn't win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl, but that's okay. I think if this summer, this offseason, you get some pieces around Josh Allen, you give him some more receivers, and there's a couple receivers available this offseason that we're going to talk about later in this podcast, but I'm happy for Josh Allen to get an MVP award. He puts himself in those Bills legend category. So well-deserved. I wouldn't have voted for him if I had a vote, but that's just me. Let me know if he was deserving of MVP. And also, we got other breaking news. The 2025 Hall of Fame class is now official. So we've got 4 guys, which is actually pretty crazy because this is the smallest class since the 2005 class, which was headlining Steve Young and Dan Marino, which is arguably one of the greatest quarterback Hall of Fame classes headlining of all time. But this is the smallest class since that year. And what's crazy is we have some studs in this Hall of Fame class for 2025. We've got Eric Allen. Okay, he enters the Hall of Fame in his 19th year of eligibility. Wow. I mean, about time he gotten on this ballot and gotten in. And then he was a 6-time Pro Bowler. He was a first-team All-Pro in 1989, had 8 interceptions, 54 total interceptions, 9 defensive touchdowns. I'm just going to go down the list of some of these guys' accolades. And he's also the only player with at least 3 pick sixes in 2 separate seasons. I mean, he seems like a pretty good player. He played for the Eagles, Saints, and Raiders. So some of your OGs out there, you've been waiting for him to get on the ballot. Well, guess what? Eric Allen, he's on the ballot in his 19th year of eligibility. Now, the next one is Jared Allen. So he has 136 career sacks, which is 12th all time, and 14 first all pros, 5-time Pro Bowler. He also had 22 sacks in 2011, which is the second most ever behind Michael Strahan and TJ Watt. So very elite company. And TJ Watt, he's definitely a Hall of Famer for sure. So we've got Jared Allen in there as well. He's also tied for the most safeties in NFL history with 4. That's an interesting stat. Next, Antonio Gates. He is considered one of the greatest tight ends of all time. 16-year career. He spent all of them with the Chargers. He had 116 career touchdowns, the most ever by a tight end in NFL history. So book that. I know a lot of people think Antonio Gates is the GOAT tight end. There are some arguments for that. And he had 8 seasons with at least 8 touchdowns. So that's pretty unique career. And also Sterling Sharp gets in the Hall of Fame. He led the NFL in receptions 3 times and touchdowns twice. In his 1992 season, he led the NFL in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He had Triple Crown. And he also becomes part of the first brother duo in the Hall of Fame, joining Shannon Sharp, his brother, who was inducted in 2011. So making a little history with the brothers there. I mean, you like to see that. You like to see not just one brother get in the Hall of Fame, but the other as well. It's very, very admirable. And, you know, the family worked hard and things like that. So it's very cool to see those Hall of Famers get in. Sterling Sharp was the only senior/coach/contributor finalist chosen. And there are only 3 modern era players selected. The maximum is 5. So this is a pretty small class. I think maybe you could have squeezed one more in there. Reggie Wayne was definitely a name I was looking at, being like, yeah, he should probably be in the Hall of Fame this year. I mean, he has a pretty stacked resume, in my opinion. Anquan Bolden was also another name being thrown around. So there were some names in this Hall of Fame class. Luke Kuechly, I think, was in here as well as a Hall of Famer. I'm kind of shocked, like, when it comes to this Hall of Fame class. I mean, there were not that many guys chosen. I mean, there were a lot of guys that were on the ballot this year, but there's a lot of great players in NFL history, and they decided not to make it that big of a class, which is kind of shocking to me. Now, let's go on to some trade talks. NFL, so Myles Garrett, okay, he requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. This man's been an absolute beast since he's been in Cleveland. He's had 4 straight seasons with 14 or more sacks. That's pretty remarkable. I almost said unremarkable, but he was second in the NFL in sacks this year with 14. Now, we all know why Myles Garrett's leaving. I mean, he's leaving because the Browns suck and he's not going to win a Super Bowl. That's the bottom line with Myles Garrett. I mean, he's just too talented of a player to be stuck in Cleveland not winning. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, there's no way around this at all. And there's a couple places I think Myles Garrett could go, realistically. Now, one of them is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I don't know if the Ravens can pay him because they have the 23rd most cap space in the NFL with only like $8 million. That's not enough to pay Myles Garrett the money he needs, okay? Because Myles Garrett is a max player. He deserves to be one of the highest paid players in football. So that is a guy you have to be able to pay. So Ravens, they are a long shot in my opinion. They do need him. They could use him. But this is a team right here. 2 of these teams I'm about to mention that could realistically get him. So you've got the Chicago Bears. Okay, they have the 5th most cap space in the NFL at $65 million. So they could definitely pay Myles Garrett and pair him up with Sweat on the front. I mean, that would be a pretty nasty pass rush. And the Bears have always been known for defense and things like that. So he would fit in perfectly with this Bears core that has a lot of potential. And the other team is the Washington Commanders. They have the 3rd most cap space in the NFL. And they got like 81 million in cap space. They could definitely pay him as well. That's been a team right there I think is most likely going to happen because, you know, you just saw Jaden Daniels do his thing. He made it to the NFC Championship. Myles Garrett, he knows he could win a Super Bowl in Washington. They also have a defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn. I think that could really work, in my opinion. I think he could go to the Bears as well. I think that could work. But also the Commanders, I think it'd be a little bit better. They got a more established defense. I think they are a little bit better on that side of the ball, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I really should say that because the Bears still have a good defense as well. They still have one of the best corners in football in Jalen Johnson. So, I mean, I'm going to pump the brakes on that a little bit, but I think Washington on the offensive side would give Myles Garrett more of an advantage to win because we saw it happen with Caleb Williams. And the Bears, they're not really ready yet. They need a couple more drafts of drafting consistently good offensive linemen before they can really sit here and be like, all right, we can protect Caleb Williams. But that's a different conversation. So those are the couple of trades trade destinations I got for Myles Garrett. Let me know what you guys think, where he should go. He's arguably the best pass rusher in football. I mean, there's a couple of them up there like Nick Bosa and things like that, but he is definitely one of them for sure. He's top 2 in my opinion. Now, the next guy that has been on the trade block, the Rams. They let Cooper Kupp know, former Super Bowl MVP in 2021, hey, we're going to trade you. And it kind of makes sense for the Rams to move on from him because, one, he hasn't been healthy. Since his Super Bowl MVP season, he has not played more than 12 games. In 2 of those seasons, he hadn't even played 10 games. So, I mean, I think that's a better move for the Rams. But honestly, I mean, you still got an old Matthew Stafford who can still sling the ball. I mean, why not keep Kupp around? I mean, I don't know why not. But he is coming off one of his worst seasons. He had the lowest amount of receiving yards since 2018. So we obviously know Cooper Kupp is digressing. He can't really stay healthy, but he brings that veteran presence that I think a couple teams could use. The Ravens are also another team in here that I think he could go to. They could get him for cheap. I don't think Cooper Kupp's going to be expensive. Maybe they got to give up a draft pick or 2, but I don't think they're going to really have to give up that much to get Cooper Kupp, in my opinion. And another team is the Texans. I mean, you could throw in Cooper Kupp with that duo of Stephon Diggs and make that happen. They also got Nico Collins, Tank Dell. I mean, that'd be a solid receiving core if you put Cooper Kupp in there. They need more receivers. Stephon Diggs just got hurt. Tank Dell just got hurt. So why not go get another guy that you think could maybe help this team out? I mean, I don't know if he's going to be healthy either, but he might be able to help this team out. And the Bengals, depending on if T. Higgins leaves, now I've heard from Bengals fans that they don't think T. Higgins is going to leave. They got to figure out how they're going to pay him and Jamar Chase. I don't know how that's going to happen, but if they somehow can't pay T. Higgins, you can get Cooper Kupp in a trade. You get him. That wouldn't be a bad move, in my opinion. That's a good target for Joe Burrow, in my opinion. The 4th team is the Buffalo Bills. They do need receiver help, like I said kind of earlier. I mean, Khalil Shakir and Amari Cooper, they're all right receivers, but Amari Cooper's in the back end of his career. Maybe get Cooper Kupp so it could help Amari out and it could help Shakir out. Because you got an MVP caliber quarterback in Buffalo and Josh Allen. So Cooper Kupp, he's still a good route runner. I mean, he's not what he used to be, but he's still a very good player. And then the last one is the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders, he could be a solid role player on that team behind Terry McLaurin, Damame Brown. I mean, they've got some guys over there in Washington. I think he would fit in right there perfectly with the Washington Commanders and what they're trying to do. But it'd be very interesting to see where Cooper Kupp ends up going. But let's go ahead and move on to JB's picks, courtesy of Hard Rock Bet, the only betting app in the state of Florida you can actually bet with. So I've got a parlay for the Super Bowl. I've been waiting for this. I've got, if you guys are looking for a bet or bets to make during the Super Bowl, tap into this right now because I think this parlay is going to hit. I think I've got good faith in this right now. So let me know what you guys think of this. So the parlay starts out this simple, like this. All right, so my first leg is Chiefs money line minus 120 to win the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are going to three-peat. I would be very safe when taking that. And then my next leg is Saquon Barkley over 111.5 rushing yards. Now, he has gotten over that amount in every game this postseason. So I think you can bank on that. And I can't speak. And the Eagles, they're a very run-heavy team. So Saquon, I think he's going to get those carries. I think he's going to get that number. My third leg, Xavier Worthy, plus 145 anytime touchdown. Now, he's a pretty fast guy. I mean, he can get open. He can get available in this game, I believe. And he's only had one touchdown this postseason, which is tied with Travis Kelce for the most receiving for the Chiefs this postseason. But I mean, if you can find Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown. You get him on a jet sweep. You could hit him on a slant route. You could hit him deep. I mean, Xavier Worthy, he may only have one catch, but that one catch could be a touchdown. So I'm just saying Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown plus 145. And then my last leg is Travis Kelce plus 115 over 6.5 receptions. Now, this is obviously Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. Now, I know what you guys are going to say. You know, didn't he have 2 catches against the Bills? Yes, he did. But he did have 7 catches against the Texans, who have a very good pass rush, just like the Eagles. So if the Eagles are going to be putting pressure on Mahomes, you know Mahomes is going to be getting rid of it quickly, and it's going to be going to Travis Kelce. Okay? And also, in last year's Super Bowl, Travis Kelce had 9 catches versus the 49ers. And the last time they played the Eagles in the Super Bowl, he had 6. So I expect him to get over that 6.5. I think he gets 7 catches in this Super Bowl. I don't think that's a far-fetched parlay. Please slam that parlay. I will actually probably be doing the same. So I will put this down. And if you guys are losing money, I'm going to be losing money with you. So I put a good amount of research into this parlay, so I think this will hit. I think it's going to be a good bet. I think the Chiefs are going to win. Saquon's going to rush for a bunch of yards. Xavier Worthy's going to get a touchdown. And Travis Kelce, he's going to dog out against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's what's going to happen as the Chiefs three-peat, become the first team in NFL history to ever do it. And Patrick Mahomes is making history in this Super Bowl before he's even three-peating. Mahomes is the youngest quarterback in NFL history at 29 years of age to start in a 5th Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? This is historic. I mean, look, I know everyone doesn't like the Chiefs. I don't really care who wins this game because I don't like the Eagles, and I'm not a huge Chiefs guy either. But I'm going to sit back and I'm going to witness greatness, and I will appreciate that. I will appreciate how great Patrick Mahomes is at playing football. And this is a crazy stat as well. I didn't even know this. Patrick Mahomes is 22-4 as a starter after 10 plus days of rest. He's had 10 plus days of rest. They're ready to go. Both of these teams are ready to go. Now, Joe Thuney, he is playing in this game, so he's healthy this time. So he's going to have, Patrick Mahomes is going to have protection, but even if he's not playing, Patrick Mahomes can make it happen. And now I'm not saying the Eagles are going to win this game because whatever stat I'm going to put on, one team has lost having this statistic. But this is a very interesting stat going into the Super Bowl that I think people should be thinking about. So a team with fewer than 200 passing yards per game in the regular season to appear in the Super Bowl are 4-1. And the Eagles are that 6th team that is coming in with fewer than 200 passing yards per game in the regular season. 4-1. 4-1. Who knows? Maybe they can make it 5-1. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Eagles have a great team. But if Saquon Barkley gets shut down, I don't know if Jalen Hurts can carry them. I don't have that trust in him like that. And the Chiefs' defense is very good. It is a good team. And the Eagles, they've struggled to protect Jalen Hurts at times. I mean, let's not forget, in the NFC Divisional, he got sacked 7 times. Let's not forget that. He's been banged up this postseason. He was wearing a knee brace in the AFC Championship or NFC Championship. He took it off before the game. He's had time to rest, but you never know when it comes to him getting hit. And he's a running quarterback, so he's going to be prone to getting hit. Okay? Excuse me. But yeah, that's probably what I would say right there when it comes to the Super Bowl and things like that. Those are my bets. Those are my thoughts. Now, I'm not going to really get into the game crazy. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's going off against the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. I mean, this is going to be a tough defense for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, if he wins this Super Bowl, my goodness. I mean, you got to start putting him in the GOAT conversation. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's going to be in that conversation. He already is in the conversation. Don't get me wrong. but you have to start exploring how he could be the GOAT if he three-peats. Because I know there's OG fans that are like, well, I don't really want Patrick Mahomes to be the GOAT. I don't want him to be the GOAT. And I don't either, but I mean, the man's good. I mean, he's freaking good at football. Like, he is very good at football. Very good. And it's amazing to watch, honestly. It is very amazing to watch what he does. I mean, he does things that Tom Brady didn't even do. So that's the level he's on right now, and it's very impressive to watch. I know the whole world hates him, but, you know, it's part of the game. I mean, here's how hate works in football and just in sports in general. When you're hated, you're doing something right. That's how it works. He wasn't hated when he wasn't winning. Now he's winning and he's hated. You can't win. You can't. You can't do it. And it's impossible. When somebody's up, they're going to try to knock you down. When you're down, someone's going to try to build you up and then knock you down. So that's kind of the whole thing with that's kind of the whole narrative with the Chiefs. And the whole narrative with the Chiefs as well has been like the referees and stuff. So Travis Kelce, he had a question for the media, and this is what he said regarding that question.
If I could ask the media one question, why are you guys leaning into this whole ref thing? You know what I mean? Like, why are you guys leaning into it? That's all I got, though.
Look, we're leaning into it because the refs have been crappy. Okay, we all know Josh Allen got that first down. We all know Xavier Worthy didn't catch that football. We all know Patrick Mahomes didn't really get roughed against the Texans. We all know there was not a necessary roughness against the Texans when the two Texan defenders clashed against each other in the head. We all know those are things we've been looking at. Now, am I saying the Chiefs don't deserve to be here? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Chiefs have been the better team. They fair and square have beaten everybody. No one can stop them. I mean, I'm not saying that the NFL is rigged because it's dumb. I'm never going to say that because it hurts the integrity of the game. In a league like the NFL, having it be rigged, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. It's like they're very strict on things like that. I mean, maybe if you think about it in this way, for people who think the NFL is rigged, which I think you should listen to me if you are one of these people. So think about it this way, right? Taylor Swift is on this side. Okay. You're probably thinking, well, you know, they want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift. Well, kind of, but like if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? Like if Josh Allen is in the Super Bowl, it's still great for the NFL. I mean, you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league in the Super Bowl. I mean, you want to be able to market your Super Bowl. And when it comes to making posters and promoting the game, Taylor Swift's not on the Super Bowl poster. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Travis Kelce. It's Jalen Hurts. Like, it's the players. Now, Taylor Swift is a part of it, but celebrities pull up to the Super Bowl every year. I mean, we got Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime show, and he won 5 Grammys this past Grammy show, which congratulations to him. I mean, heck of a night for Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I've never really sat down and watched the Grammys like that, but like that was a great show. I mean, great television. I mean, I honestly enjoyed it. Like I was very entertained with that. And Kendrick Lamar was doing his thing. He was doing his thing once again. I love it. And I can't wait to watch his halftime show. I think it's going to be one of the greatest halftime shows we've had when it comes to the Super Bowl halftime shows. I really do believe that. I think Kendrick is going to come out here. I'm here. There we go. I'm looking forward to watching that. I mean, the commercials, everyone's looking forward to watching the commercials. I mean, everyone likes commercials. Now, commercials I think need to get a little bit more funny. I don't think you need to be going aliens like apartments.com did last year, but I would like to see some funny commercials. And now people are doing funny commercials. You know, I get it. But I used to miss the funny commercials. I miss them still. And Kendrick Lamar, I'm looking forward to that whole performance. But I mean, there's always celebrities that are going to be pulling up. I mean, we're going to be in New Orleans. Like, there's going to be people there. I mean, guys like LeBron are probably going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, guys like Kevin Hart, he's an Eagles fan, he's going to be there. I mean, probably Caitlin Clark's probably going to be at the Super Bowl since she's a Chiefs fan, and she's probably going to be sitting with Taylor Swift. But like, you know, there's always going to be celebrities at the Super Bowl. There always is. So like, I'm not taking it away from Taylor Swift. Like, yeah, she can go do whatever she wants, but she's not the only celebrity there. So like, it's not the whole, like, she just happens to be dating Travis Kelce. I don't think it's a publicity stunt that they're dating. Like, I don't really want to get into that right now. I think that's a whole drama thing. Like, there's no point in getting into that. This is the Take, not relationship show. Okay. I'm not diving into this right now. So let's go ahead and move on to some NBA trades. Okay. Holy crap. We've had some trades. Now, last podcast, I talked about the Luka Doncic and LeBron James trade. Let me know what you guys think. Go watch that video if you haven't already. I kind of already broke down the trade and who won it, things like that. But my Miami Heat traded Jimmy Butler. Finally, I did not think it would happen before the trade deadline, but it did. And we got a lot for Jimmy Butler. Let's just say that. So the Miami Heat, we got Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, a 2025 top 10 protected first round pick. And we got PJ Tucker. And then we traded PJ Tucker for Davion Mitchell. So we got a lot of pieces in this trade. I think Miami is a contender right now? No, but I mean, we have enough role players. We have a good roster. I think we're retooling right now. I think we're going to get ready for next year. I think next year we'll be better. We'll be back. Hopefully we can get a free agent or something like that. But to me, I think it's kind of wild that the Warriors, the whole thing with the Warriors, right, is Jimmy Butler didn't want to go to the Warriors because he didn't want to sign the extension. So I was like, well, crap. Heat are probably not going to trade Jimmy Butler. And then after that, he signed a 2-year, $121 million extension. And we're like, okay, now he's with the Warriors. He's getting traded to the Warriors. And it was weird because I watched this interview that Steph Curry had, and he didn't really seem sure about Jimmy Butler. Take a listen to this.
We know who Jimmy is. We've been in 2 finals. He's a winner. I understand there's a lot of drama down there, and who really knows what the story is. We expect to have a motivated, committed, Jimmy that's ready to impact our team for the better. Got to work out the kinks of what it looks like, and I'm excited to get to work and kind of feed off the energy of something new, and somebody that's obviously had experience at the highest of levels, has a lot to prove in a new situation, and we're going to try to help each other do that.
I mean, I understand what he's saying. Jimmy, he's been to the finals twice. He's a winner. He's played at the highest of levels. I get it, Steph. But the part of the thing is, I'm going to set that aside right now because something that you said, I don't really understand what you mean by like the drama. I mean, or what kind of we expect to get Jimmy, or what kind of Jimmy do we expect to get? Like, I mean, Jimmy wants to win. Now, do I think this move for the Warriors makes them a title contender? No, I don't think this really moves the needle that much for the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors are 11th in the Western Conference right now, and a Western Conference that is absolutely loaded. I mean, 12 teams deep, if you ask me. I think this Western Conference is that good. Okay. And Steph Curry, he's at this stage in his career where I don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to help him get a championship. And you're paying a guy $60+ million per season. I mean, I'm happy that he's gone and the Heat don't have to pay him because he's 35. What's the point of paying him? I mean, I genuinely don't get it. Like, he was whining and complaining, and I know part of it was Pat Riley, but like, I mean, Jimmy, like, you are old. You need to prove yourself. You need to be able to stay healthy. And I don't know. I think the Heat finessed the Warriors. I really think we did. I think we got a good deal for a player who is older. Like that is crazy. We got a lot for him. I mean, we got 3 potential players that could really make an impact for our roster. I mean, Wiggins, dude, I love me some Andrew Wiggins. I mean, he is a two-way player. He can shoot the basketball. I mean, Andrew Wiggins is shooting 37% from the three-point line this year, averaging 17 points per game, 1 steal and 1 block a game. And Wiggins, he fits in perfectly with Heat culture. He can defend. He can do everything that a basketball player in Heat culture would want to do. Like he is the definition of Heat culture. He will defend at a high level. I can trust that. I can trust that. So a starting lineup for the Heat with Tyler Hero at the 1, Duncan Robinson at the 2, Andrew Wiggins at the 3, Bam Adebayo at the 4, and then let's put Nikola Jovic at the 5. Why not? I mean, I know he's not really a consistent starter, but I would love Nikola Jovic to be a part of this lineup. He's a good player. He can dribble. He stretches out. He spaces out the floor very well for his position. And I love that guy. I think he's a great player. I think the Heat won this trade clear as day. Clear as day. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, the Warriors, they gave up so much. So much. Was it worth it? I don't think it was for the Warriors. And this whole mess with Kevin Durant being traded to the Warriors, he doesn't want to go back. Of course, Kevin Durant doesn't want to go back because he doesn't want to be like, well, Steph, I can't really win a ring by myself, so I need some help. Like, that kills his legacy. And Kevin Durant's legacy is already done. I mean, he's going to be so disgruntled when he has to come back and play for this Phoenix Suns team who's not going to win a title. I mean, and they also tried trading Brad Beal. He would not waive his no trade clause. So, I mean, that was a whole mess. I was kind of surprised that the Suns were trying to trade Kevin Durant. I mean, the Warriors were asking every team in the league about the superstar. Every team in the league. And they had the audacity to ask about Kevin Durant. I mean, Draymond Green's still there. Why would Kevin Durant want to go play with Draymond Green? No, like that is not going to happen. Not going to happen. I mean, I think this has been one of the wildest trade deadlines I've ever seen in my life. And we're not even done. We're not even done. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Zach LaVine and De'Aaron Fox trade. Okay. So Zach LaVine goes to the Kings. De'Aaron Fox goes to the Spurs in a 3-team trade with the Bulls, Spurs, and Kings. So the Kings, they got a good amount. I mean, they got 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, Sidney Casaccio, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and then Zach LaVine. The Spurs got Jordan McLaughlin and De'Aaron Fox, and then the Bulls got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 first-round pick via Spurs. So that is the trade. Now, Zach LaVine, he's touched down in Sacramento. We all know his former teammate last year, DeMar DeRozan, he was on the Bulls with, is in Sacramento. And Zach LaVine talked about being back with DeMar DeRozan on the same team. So let's take a listen right now.
I think it helps a lot. Obviously, being familiar with people, and at the end of the day, it is just basketball. Coming here and us doing our job, but having guys that you played with or being familiar with always helps. And me and him have had a really good relationship. He's from Chicago even before that, so it's a seamless transition.
Yeah, that helps. I mean, I think the thing that we talk about is Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan really didn't do a whole lot when they played together. Now, it's because Zach LaVine was hurt a lot. But I want to see what they can do together this second time around. I think maybe this can work. And also the Kings got another piece in another trade. They got Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards. That's a pretty good trade in my opinion. I mean, Jonas Valanciunas is getting older, but they already have a power forward in Sabonis, so that could be a pretty good front court. Like that could be a good front court. I mean, I don't think the Kings are going to take a drop off. I mean, this Western Conference is just stacked. I mean, it's insanely good. I mean, you're telling me right now that the Kings are not a playoff team? I don't think so. I just think it's kind of weird, in my opinion, that they want to trade De'Aaron Fox, but who's been there like his whole career and he's been a dog for them. But like, I think De'Aaron Fox wanted out. I think he just secretly didn't like say, hey, I want to request a trade, because him and Wemby looked insane. I mean, this is the play of the week right here. Let's get into our play of the week. Okay, so this play of the week was De'Aaron Fox. He was going one-on-one tie game with the Atlanta Hawks last night, 123-123. And then Wembanyama comes out of nowhere and helps De'Aaron Fox get the put-back dunk after he misses the layup. So take a listen to this play last night.
And the clutch player of the year a couple of seasons ago will bring it across against the steals leader in the NBA. Fox pops clutch. De'Aaron Fox. Wemby with the follow flush. Spurs up by a bucket.
Okay, that was a pretty crazy game. If you didn't watch the Hawks and Spurs game last night, go watch it. But De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama looked like a crazy duo. I mean, De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama had a combined 48 points in their first ever game together. Fox had 13 assists. Wembanyama had 12 rebounds. I mean, we all knew this was a deadly combo. But this combo is real. It is legit. First game out of the gate. These guys look like they could playing with each other for their full careers. I mean, it looked like they never didn't play. I mean, it looked amazing. And I wonder when Greg Popovich is going to come back, because he's got a team that he could possibly win something with before he gets out of here. It's a possibility. It is. I mean, obviously, getting De'Aaron Fox is a long-term play, in my opinion. You're pairing him up with Wembanyama, who's one of the best young stars in the game of basketball. He's 7'5". He's a freak. We never seen anything like it. Never. But you get De'Aaron Fox, dude, come on. Like, what are we talking about right now? I mean, De'Aaron Fox is a dog. He is so good. He is so fast. He is such a good passer. He can score from anywhere. And they didn't even have to give up Stephon Castle in the trade, the rookie from UConn that they drafted. So, like, this is a win for the Spurs. I think the Spurs won this trade. Now, the Kings got Zach LaVine and a bunch of picks. But, I mean, I think the Spurs in the long run are going to have a good team. That's a great duo for years to come in Fox and Wembanyama. I mean, come on now. Like, what are we doing right now? I mean, this trade deadline doesn't get any better than this. I mean, I was in the barbershop today, and I was like, my barber said, hey, like, is it the Super Bowl this week? Because the NBA trade deadline's been really taking over. And this trade right here that makes no sense, in my opinion. The Bucks traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. Why would you trade Chris Middleton? Chris Middleton, yeah, I know he was injured for the beginning of the season, but he was actually good this year, and he's a veteran leader. Like, why would you get rid of him? He was shooting 40% from the three-point line. 40%. 51% from the field. I mean, dude, he was playing good basketball. And then you get Kyle Kuzma, who's shooting career lows in field goal percentage and three-point percentage. He's shooting 28% from the three-point line, 42% from the field goal. I mean, bro, man's supposed to be a scorer, and he's not scoring as efficient as he was. And Kyle Kuzma also plays no defense. None. He plays no defense. Why would you go and get him? It doesn't make any sense. And you put Middleton on the Wizards, who's the worst team in the NBA. They don't even have 10 wins yet. Imagine waking up and being like, I'm on the Wizards. What? I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. Like, why would you? That doesn't make sense. That's Giannis's boy. They won a championship together. They won a title. And you're just going to ship him off like that? I mean, why? Why? I mean, this man's a dog. Like he's the third leading scorer in Milwaukee Bucks history. 12,586 points. He also owns the Bucks franchise record for most threes made. This man was destined to retire a Milwaukee Buck. Destined. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. I can't believe it. Lowest percentage of Kyle Kuzma's career. Lowest. His career three-point percentage is 33. He's shooting 5% lower than that. Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. It genuinely makes me mad. And then now you've got Kyle Kuzma on Milwaukee on a 4-year, $102 million deal. Come on. What are you doing? I mean, are the Milwaukee Bucks trying to take themselves out of title contention? Because I think that's the move that just did it right there, in my opinion. And the last trade we're going to talk about this is kind of a smaller trade, but I think this could make an impact. I was kind of shocked to see this as well. DeAndre Hunter going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We all know the Cleveland Cavaliers have the best record in the NBA right now. They have 40-plus wins. I mean, they've been absolutely sensational. But I think they traded with the Hawks, so the Cavaliers got DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks. And the Cavs gave up Karis LeVert, George Niang, 3 future second-round picks, and 2 future pick swaps. So a lot of picks in this trade. In my opinion, I think Cleveland might have given up too much. Personally, I think they might have given up too much. You might be overvaluing DeAndre Hunter, but I don't know. For their fit and the players they have around him, I think it could be perfect. DeAndre Hunter is a good two-way player. He can play defense. He can really guard any position. I mean, he's not a bad player to have when it comes to defense. And also offense. I mean, he's not a bad player. I mean, he shoots 39% from 3 this year, 19 points per game, 46% from the field. I mean, not bad for a guy who's not known as a scorer per se. So, like, he can do his thing. I mean, and DeAndre Hunter, I mean, in his 6th year, I mean, he's averaging career highs in those 3 numbers I just mentioned. So, I mean, he's been getting better as an offensive player. I mean, he was a top 5 pick in the 2019 NBA draft. So, I mean, he's been pretty good this year, especially off the bench. I mean, I think he could really add some depth to that Cleveland team. Did I think Cleveland gave up too much? Yes, but I mean, Niang wasn't really doing a whole lot, and LeVert, he was kind of in and out of the lineup. So maybe that's a good year. Maybe that's a good move for Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's got some potential. I think Cleveland's legit. Now, do I think they could beat a team like Boston? No, but I mean, they definitely could. Do they think they could beat the Knicks? I don't know. I think the Knicks and Cavs are pretty even. In my opinion, that'd be a great series. That'd be a great series come playoff time. I mean, it's about to be all-star time. I mean, all-star weekends in a couple weeks now. My boy Tyler Hero, he's in the all-star game. Let me know in the comments before we get out of here. Did LaMelo Ball get snubbed of the all-star team? He's top 5 in the NBA in scoring. Now, he did just get hurt before that, so I don't know how that impacted him. But, I mean, he led the Eastern Conference guards in votes. So, do the fan votes not mean anything? And then he finished 7th in the media. So, I don't really know how that works. I mean, it's kind of crazy if you ask me. But let me know in the comments, do you think LaMelo Ball was snubbed of an all-star appearance? Let me know in the comments. But this is going to go ahead and do it for today's episode of The Take. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and also share and comment what you guys think about the Super Bowl parlay. Make sure to hit that, hammer it down. I'm going to be doing that right after this. And then also, I want to see what you guys think about these trades. What was your favorite trade in NBA trade deadline? What was your least favorite trade? How do you think this impacts the landscape of the league? Let me know in the comments below. But I'm Jackson Burleson. There was a heck of a pod. I hope you guys enjoyed this. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my